Hey guys, so I'm here with another example, another tutorial. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, as always, we're gonna make a using namespace std. So what we're going to do today is we're gonna basically go through switch statements, as well as do while loops. So we'll both be using those. We'll also include some if statements to make sure that everything is correct. But let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and delete this line right here. What we're going to do next is we want to say, you know, welcome. You have $100. So you have this initial value that you get to start off with. So we want to declare that. We want to say int money equals 100. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to start creating the do loop. We're going to do the basic part of it. We have this do part, and we have this while loop right here. Whatever is here is going to repeat first. It's always going to repeat no matter what. But it'll only keep going if whatever is in here is true. So just keep that in mind. So we always want to display the menu first, right? So we always want to show the menu, give the person an option at least once. So in this case, that's why we're using a do while loop, not just a while loop. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to do we're gonna do, I like to do the end lines because this is just goes to the next line. You could also do, \n, I think, or something like that. I think. Yeah, you can, if you want, but I like to do this because it just helps me keep myself, like, organized with my code. So we're gonna do so we want to set this to $10, right? Okay, so after that we want the next value, but I forgot the end line. So end line, it goes to the next line. So we're just creating the menu here. Okay, so we have three options, right? Okay. So we want input from the user, right? We want input on what they would want. So we want to say what would you like to order? Because we want the user input, what we're going to do is we're going to create a variable up here. We're going to say we're gonna say int input. And then after that, we want to ask the user for their input. So we're gonna do cn input, right? After that, I'll show you how it runs so far. So this will always run when it's true, and since we're putting true, this will always run. Keep in mind that this is different from a normal while loop, is where you need a semicolon after here. Normal while loop looks like this. So while, you know, x is greater than 10, or sorry, less than 10, it's going to look something like this, and whatever is here is going to repeat while this is true. This is different from the do while loop, which is what we're working with, is that this part right here dictates whether this keeps running or not. And in this case, it'll always keep running because I put true. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Let's go ahead and end line. So we have this menu, and it says, what would you like to order? And you can type what you want, right? But as you can see, it doesn't really mean anything because whatever word you put in, there's nothing to analyze that. So what we're going to do next is, what do you think? We're going to do a switch statement. You could do if-else statements, but that gets messy, and you don't want to be too stupid with your code. So we're doing switch, then we're going to do input. So whatever is in here, it's going to go, let's start with case 0. So case 0. Oh, I forgot to add. We need to add our decision choice. So this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So if they type in 0, they order this. If they type in 1, they order this. If they type in 2, they order this. So our case 0 is going to be this. We're going to say cout okay. Right? So we say this, and then what we want to do is we want to say we want to keep track. We can't go into the negatives because you don't want to keep spending money that you don't have. So what we're going to do is we're going to include this if statement in this case. So we're going to say if money is greater than or equal to 10. So this will be true if you do have enough money because it's $10. So what we're going to do is we're going to say money equals money minus 10. You could also do it like this, money plus equals 10. It's the same thing. Totally up to you on how you want to do that. And we're going to do cout. I'm going to say you now have money left. Okay, so it states how much money you have left. After that, we're going to say cout. This is a very important part. We would ask if they would you like to go back to the menu? So this part is really important because we want to make sure that they can go back to the menu if they want to, right? So this is the part that's really important. It's going to be what dictates if we keep suggesting them the menu over and over again. Like I said, we're always going to have the menu once, but whatever is here, this will always happen. So we need to say, if they say yes, I would like to go back to the menu, we need this to repeat again. So it'll keep repeating if they do say yes, but if they say no, we need this to stop and the code to stop running, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to actually include a character. We're going to do car yes no. Okay? So we're going to do cin. We're going to do yes no. After that, that's going to be the end of our if statement. But we need to include an else. So what if you don't have enough money? Well, you can say cout. What we're going to do is we're going to do cout. Sorry, but you're broke. So after that, we need to set yes no equal to n. Okay, so let me explain this so far. We have this case 0. This is if they choose this first option right here. So it's going to run through the switch statement. It's going to say, okay, case 0 is selected. It's going to output this, and then it's going to run through this if statement, this if-else statement that we have here. If the money is greater than or equal to 10, which means yes, you do have enough money, then we will subtract it from your balance, and it'll state how much money you have left. But then it'll ask, would you like to go back to the menu? and you say yes, I would, then it's going to repeat while this is true. So let's edit this because it'll always be repeating. So let's say if yes, no equals yes, right? Or we can do a lowercase, so checking if it's equal, and this is or, right? We don't want to do and like that because that wouldn't make sense. We want to make sure if they put in either a lowercase or in uppercase that we want this to keep going. Oh, make sure that's a string with double quotes. It's a character with single quotes like this, so just make sure that you keep track of that. So yeah, so this will keep going as long as they say yes, I want to go back to the menu. Anyway, after this if statement's ran, we have this if you don't have enough money, what you're going to say is, sorry, but you're broke, and we're going to set yes, no equal to n. Because this would make this statement false, right? And we need this statement to be false so you don't go back to the menu and try to order something else, right? So after that, we're going to move on to the next thing. It's basically the same thing, except with different outputs. So so we have that first line. I'm going to say if money is greater than or equal to 50, right? What we want to do is essentially the same thing. I'm just going to copy and paste my code because it's the same thing. I'll change it. There's a few things different. Like this, this steak's expensive. So, would you like to go back to the menu? But I did forget something important that I just realized. Make sure when you're doing this that we have a break after we're done with that statement. Because if I didn't include that break, even though if we selected case 0, it would still run through case 1. So this break essentially puts a stopping point right here. So anything above it, which is case 0, right? If I put this break down here, and I didn't do this right here, it would essentially run case 1 and case 0 because it would just keep going. This break stops it from happening. So I just commented this out to get a better visualization. So after that, what we're going to do is we're going to do the next case, right? Which is going to be case 2, right? This is the final case. What we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do cout denim chicken ordered. Okay? Alright, so after you're done, we're going to do the same thing over again. So this time, look, we set it to be 20, right? You can do whatever value you want, but this time we did 20. So 20, 20. Oh, I see earlier I did plus. I meant minus. If it was plus, it'd be, adding it. But since this is minus, it's going to be subtracting it. So this is correct. My bad, I didn't catch that earlier. But anyway. So after that's done, we have all the cases ready, right? Don't forget your break at this end. But we have to have a default. Well, you don't really have to, but it helps a lot. We want to say cout. This happens if none of these cases are true. We want to say invalid entry. Try again. So this will happen if they don't put in 0, 1, or 2. If they put in like 5 or 10 or something like that. Something stupid, right? That doesn't make sense. That's not following this menu, right? So after that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a break after the default. Make sure you always do a break after the default as well. So after that, we're done with our switch statement, right? We're done with this do part. Now we have to code the last part of this, which is after. So after the while loop, after this is not true anymore, what's going to happen in our code? We can write whatever we want, right? But let's say cout. Thanks. You're done for. So that means you're done buying food, done buying dinner, right? And that's it. So let's see how our code runs. So welcome, you have $100, menu for dinner. So what do you like to order? Well, let's do milk steak. Look, milk steak ordered. Spelled that wrong. Cool. Fuck. Okay. You have $50 left. So this costed me $50. What's 100 minus 50? Oh, it's 50. Wow. So after that, yeah, I do want to go back to the menu. Okay. Look, now we can order some more stuff. I want denim chicken. Look, 30 left. 50 minus 20 is 30, which is what we did right here. Okay. Cool. So let's say yes, and we want to say, well, let's do milk steak again. Sorry, but you're broke. Thanks, you're done for. So it runs through this else statement right here. It doesn't subtract it because you don't have the money. It just says, sorry, but you're broke, because it sets this to no, which means this while loop is not true anymore. So it doesn't take you back to the menu. So let's run through that one more time. Yes. Oh, look. Needed to be 1. So just make sure it's the right entry. So let's say I want 1. And then we say no, don't go back to the menu. Alright, well, thanks for the video.